This episode of the Digital Desperados podcast is brought to you by SaferNet VPN, found online at safernet.com.
Welcome to the Digital Desperados podcast, featuring dark tales from the web. Patrick McMurphy is here today to tell us our dark tales, and he's joined, of course, by Brad Hawkins, founder, CEO, and super dude from SaferNet VPN. And I'm Jim Brangenberg, and I'll serve as kind of, I'll be herding cats here on the podcast. This podcast is brought to you by SaferNet VPN. Every time you go online, your heart and soul are under attack. Secure your computer with SaferNet VPN, simplified cybersecurity for businesses and families. SaferNet's got a VPN. It's powerful. You can even use the Wi-Fi, the free Wi-Fi at Panera or at your hotel. It's got internet controls, virus protection, all in one app, and you can put it on every device. You can have one profile on all of your electronic devices. Keep distractions at bay with 84 website filters. Stay safe and productive. Get secured right now. Go to safernet.com. It's reasonable, it's affordable, and it's powerful. That's safernet.com. Patrick McMurphy, what dark tale are you telling us about today?
Well, today I'm excited because I want to talk about an individual called Peter Levashov, aka Severa, or the Spam Lord. He is without a doubt one of my favorite hackers.
So he's from southern Minnesota. He's the Spam Lord?
Yeah, exactly. Or he could even be Irish at this point. But no, unfortunately, Levashov was born in St. Petersburg, Russia, which we all know at this point is the home of hacking. And so Levashov is born here in Russia in 1980. We don't know a ton about his childhood, as normal with these guys, but we know as a teenager in the mid-90s, straight away, he just hopped into hacking. This is what he wanted to do. He was born to hack. So mid-90s teenager, he began writing his own malware. Really, he wasn't, spreading this around. He was just seeing what he could do. Now, not only was he good at writing malware, he was a brilliant, and I mean brilliant mathematician. He went to a high school dedicated just to that, and he went on to get master's degrees in both computer science and economics. So this is a clever guy we're dealing with.
Digital economics.
You're correct. Yes.
I mean, exactly. Which is even more intense. I don't even know what that means. Brad, do you know what that means? Digital economics?
I'm assuming it's digital fintech. I'm not sure, but I'm assuming that it has something to do with how to grow an economy in the digital world. So would that be accurate?
I think so, and it's a field that actually changes quite a lot, especially in the last few years with crypto and things. But it's a tough field to get a master's in anyway.
Wow. Well, I guess when you get a master's in digital economics before anyone knows what it is, you can learn basically anything. So
yeah.
And then it just grows. It just keeps going. I mean, as it continues to grow and advance, you just tell everybody you got a master's degree in it, even though you don't know anything about it.
That's right.
Exactly.
Well, let's go back to southern Minnesota, where they make all the spam in the world.
Exactly.
That's right. And so the Spam Lord here.
So the Spam Lord himself, Levashov, this is when in college he served as the primary moderator of a spam community that spanned multiple top Russian cybercrime forums. And so around this time, Levashov met an American called Ralsky, and they worked closely together. And so these two guys were involved in a huge number of spam email campaigns. They were mostly centered around stocks and what are called pump and dump schemes. So what would happen is that they would send out emails really about thinly traded Chinese penny stocks. They would drive up the price. They would then jump out at the top when they've artificially inflated these prices. That's a crime it's done a lot. But you don't see them hacking as much, but these guys were totally into it. They were all about it.
So they were just publicizing a stock that probably is meaningless, but they buy the stock and then they publicize it, send out a bunch of spam to talk about how amazing it is, and then get people to buy it and have that stock price increase, and then they sell at the top and let it crash. Is that
100%? That is it exactly. And he was a master of it. So in fact, he even got a reputation as someone who could write incredibly effective spam campaigns and he ended up working with a bunch of other hackers across Europe. Now, at the time, he wasn't known. I mean, his real name wasn't known. But there is a company called Spam House. Mm-hmm. Now, these are white hat hackers. These guys detect big spam lords, and what he called Levashop.
Now, just for clarity, a white hat hacker is somebody that hacks for good to help businesses find holes in their software or anything like that. Black hat hacker are the people that we always talk about. So,
exactly,
just to clarify. So,
yeah, exactly. And now, when looking at spammers, Spam House called Levashop one of the longest operating criminal spam lords on the internet. So this guy at the time was seen as the father of all spam lords. So it's not a great title to have.
Almighty spam lord.
Yeah, something like that, I think. So, but this just wasn't enough for Levashop. So what he wanted to do, he wanted to combine everything. He wanted to combine what he learned from university, from writing malware, from economics. And so he wrote something called Kelios, which is a type of botnet. And so the big question is, well, what is a botnet? And so really all a botnet is that it's like a network. However, it consists of several, well, I say several, I mean thousands of compromised computers. So if your computer has a virus that's a botnet, it's actually being used by that botnet to carry out malicious crimes. And so basically, Levashop started publishing more spam emails to get Kelios around the place. Now, what was unique about it is that even today, if you look at botnets, they have a central command. And this is going to be one computer sitting somewhere, more than likely Russia, that is the chief in command of the entire botnet. But Levashop never wanted this. He wanted a peer-to-peer network. And so what happened is that there was no single command. All command was spread around to all computers using it. There was multiple computers. And the most important part of that, he realized that it had no point of failures. You could not take down one computer and take down Kelios. You would have to take down all of them. So that's the benefit.
That's the benefit of connecting all of these previously hacked computers together to build their power, so that if they lose 10% of them, they can still do whatever they want to do, and they got all the power to do it. Is that about right?
Yeah, exactly. And it was a nightmare. It spread via a number of methods, most of all phishing, or phishing emails from the malware itself. So if you had Kelios, you might actually be emailing Kelios to other people without even realizing it.
Wow. Got emails like that from people who are like, did you know you sent me that email? It always is some salacious email. Hey, you can lose 30 pounds tomorrow. Just drink this magical drink, or some other kind of thing. Cyber criminals are constantly, Patrick, they're constantly trying to get into your computer and my computer all the time. Brad, I believe that you've got the solution we all need. We need to protect our computers effortlessly with SaferNet VPN. Tell us about it, Brad, really quick. Why is SaferNet the solution to all these cyber criminals that we're talking about?
I got to tell you, we designed SaferNet for a very specific reason. That is to combine the three most important, very simple, that everybody needs to have cybersecurity tools into one simple app that can go on any endpoint device or any computer, cell phone, tab, whatever. And so the objective is that we want to be able to provide the simple thing of a VPN that, in my belief, everybody in the world should have a VPN. They should not operate on the internet without a VPN. And I know some people disagree with that, but those are the people that don't quite understand VPNs. And then within that VPN, we put virus protection to make sure that if you end up at a bad website, you're not going to bring a virus right into your network. And then we give you 200 internet controls to help you manage and protect the traffic wherever it's going. So if we're able to combine those three most important cybersecurity tools into one app and then charge based on one of those three, it's a win for everybody. And we priced it out so that it's a no-brainer for anybody in the world. We're all over the world. We have people using SaferNet all over the world. And that's what's so exciting, is that we can protect anyone in the world.
I love Best. In a conversation we had recently, you mentioned that your accounting department, you have all the social media channels blocked from the accounting department using SaferNet. But in the marketing department, you have all the social media channels on. So the accountants don't get distracted. The marketing people can do their job. And that's the power of SaferNet. Check it out online, safernet.com. That's safernet.com. Let's get back to the spam lord.
Absolutely. And, so I mentioned that he distributed a lot of this during phishing, but he always had ways to make money, Levashov. So he ran an affiliate marketing program with an antivirus program that he created called Sev Antivir, right? Not only this was an amazing antivirus program, it would delete all of your malware. It would also deploy Kelios on your machine. So he would sell you his antivirus, wipe your machine clean. Oh, it's spick and span. It's lovely. It's clean. However, you're now in a botnet. This guy was a genius. He knew exactly what he was doing.
Oh my goodness. That's incredible.
It is. And so when Kelios got running, there was really a lot of moving parts to it. It would obviously send massive amounts of spam emails. Again, it's Levashov. What do we expect, right? A lot of these spam emails distribute various types of malware. There was banking trojans, ransomware, and really just other malicious software involved. Now,
Patrick, what was the name of his antivirus?
It was Sev Antivir, which would later be a take on his nickname Severe. So Sev Antivir. Do not download that, by the way.
You probably just panicked. Hundreds of people that just listened to that.
I know.
I think I'm running an antivirus and it's just completely destroyed.
You'll know soon when the FBI knocks on your door, like, why are you doing, what kind of malicious things are you doing from your computer? We've got your IP pegged right here.
Now, it wasn't just Levashov using Kelios. What he wanted to do, he wanted to sell it on. He wanted to be a businessman about this. So, for example, for $200, vetted users could hire Kelios and they could blast 1 million emails containing malware or ads to whoever they wanted. There was multiple scams going under this, including things like money mule scams. So you could pay anywhere between $300 or $500, depending the size of the crowd needed. So this guy was a businessman, a mathematician, and a really good hacker.
Wow.
Now, so Kelios began really in the mid-2000s, but it really only became known to authorities in 2010 during its peak. And the reason it took so long was because of Zeus, which we mentioned in last episode. The Zeus malware Trojan was so dominant that a lot of other malware just it hid away because Zeus dominated everything. So he was really getting away in the dark with all of this. But eventually, as Zeus got played down a little bit, Interpol and the FBI got on the case, but they had no idea who this guy was, who was the creator. What they did know was that Kelios was on the scene for years. It had propagated very widely, that parts of the botnet were being leaked out, all these kind of things. But he left a zero digital footprint behind. Which you would think, right? All hackers, they're all very quiet people. You can't detect them. Except one of the funniest things about this story is that he got caught because he used an Apple iCloud email address and all of this. So this is the best part of it. So what the FBI knew is that the FBI knew that this guy nickname was Severa. What they then realized that there was an Apple iCloud called severa@icloud.com. That was the whole email address. So one day they said, hey, let's check out where this iCloud is looking. And as it happened, it pointed to 2 Kelios linked servers, would then point back to Russia. So straight away, our boy is caught. It's over for him at this point. He gets pinned. He gets pinned off an iCloud address. It's not good. Not good for him.
That's amazing.
He is a criminal, not thinking iCloud. And I don't think so. He was partnering with Apple in order to complete his crimes. I love that. So then, who arrests him?
So what happens, it's by 2017, Levashov, he gets arrested in Barcelona and is straight away extradited to the US. Now, unlike our last episode, there was no smiling photo we got of him, but the US took him in pretty quickly. Yeah, sorry, Brad, go ahead.
So he gets arrested. He gets shipped to America. Now, the question that I've got is, a lot of times they end up going to Russia. Do you have any idea what happens? How do they determine if they go to America or they go to Russia or who's arresting them? How do they determine when that it's a worldwide crime?
Yeah, so normally they would get shipped over to the US and they would serve. And this is where the question you just asked gets its most confusing answer in the case of Levashov. So he gets over there and he gets sentenced to 12 years. However, he gets released after 33 months, which is incredible. The federal judge said that it was a long way to be away from his wife, child, and home. So after 33 months, they let him out. So you're scratching your head here and you're saying, what just happened? How did this guy just get 33 months in prison? And you'll say, okay, he's back in Russia. He's not. The man is living in Connecticut. He's a free man in Connecticut right now. He's apparently waiting to be deported, but right now he is in Connecticut free.
Now, is his wife and kid in Connecticut too, or is he still...
he has done a huge amount.
I think we should leave that off the podcast. Let's leave the wife and kid alone. All right.
I think so. I'll agree with him on that one. Now, he started several businesses within the US. I'm not going to name them. They're very around stocks and things like that. Now, he is saying right now he's trying to crack what he considers the most elusive puzzle of the information age, which he thinks is how to teach machines how to pick stocks. Now, if you've ever looked at kind of following stocks, you know a lot of companies are trying this with machines. It's not 100% yet, but he's actually still looking for investors. I don't recommend investing in this guy. Now, he started other businesses in the US. Again, I'm not going to name them. He started several Telegram channels. I did join one. He's talking constantly on it. This guy will talk to you if you try to talk to him. But yeah, hugely invested in AI. Time Magazine just did a huge interview with him about 6 months ago. And what I want to close with him, and this is what makes him one of the most unusual figures we've ever talked about. So you can look up this guy. You can find all these magazines who have interviewed him. If you look him up in terms of his name or his nicknames, if you type his names into any AI machine, any of the big AI machines, they spit out errors. ChatGPT, etc., they cannot talk about this guy, and no one knows why. I've ran this through so many people. AI cannot talk about Levashov at all. So there's two reasons people think. The first is that he had made some huge deal with the US, which he probably did, which is why he got 33 months. And there was some kind of, gag order put on AI. Now, the other part could be because he's so invested in AI, he's reverse engineering all these AI clubs that people don't know about and stopping his name getting out into the open in a bad way. That is our spam lord today, Severa.
Maybe he's turned to be white hat for the U.S. government. Who knows?
I mean, if they give him a house in Connecticut, maybe, man.
I just wonder, does he like spam? He's the spam lord. Does he like? And if he really does like spam, why isn't he in Hawaii instead of Connecticut? I just don't understand.
That's a good point.
All of that is more. Patrick McMurphy, again, another incredible story. Brad, we're so grateful to SaferNet for bringing us these stories. It's always fun to talk about these guys. I sometimes I just want to meet them and go, okay, what really is driving you? And then I think better of that. But, just know that you heard it here. The internet and everything digital has a dark side and many dark players. It's why you need SaferNet by your side, protecting you all day long. VPN, antivirus, 200 internet filters, internet controls, so much more. Please, for your online security, check out safernet.com and get secured today. Safernet.com. It's reasonable, it's affordable, and it's powerful. Till next time, click only on the attachments you trust from those you trust and delete the rest, or you may become the next victim of a digital desperado.
This episode of the Digital Desperados podcast is brought to you by SaferNet VPN, found online at SaferNet.com.
Business owners, listen up. Criminals and search engines do not need to know everything you do on the internet. SaferNet VPN ensures your company's safety with its powerful cybersecurity defenses. Explore the Control Center dashboard for seamless management. Shield your workforce from inappropriate web content using 84 internet filters. Trust SaferNet VPN, your path to worry-free online operations. Get secured now. Sign up at SaferNet.com. That's SaferNet.com.